Have you ever wondered how crucial oxygen is for our existence? Take a deep breath and let your mind ponder that for a moment. That breath you just took, it's filled with oxygen, a key player in the symphony of life. Oxygen, a colorless, odorless, tasteless gas, is the third most abundant element in the universe and makes up about 21% of Earth's atmosphere. It's essential for most living organisms and plays a critical role in a variety of life-sustaining processes. Let's start with combustion. The process that powers our cars, heats our homes, and cooks our food relies heavily on oxygen. When fuels like wood, coal, or gasoline burn, they react with oxygen from the air in a process called oxidation, releasing heat and light. Without oxygen, there would be no fire, no heat, no light, a stark contrast to the world we know today. Now let's talk about respiration. Respiration is the process by which animals, including humans, consume oxygen to convert food into energy. Think about it. Every cell in your body needs oxygen to function. Your brain, your muscles, your organs, all depend on the constant supply of this invisible gas. Without it, they would simply stop working. And what about decomposition? The breakdown of organic matter, whether it's a fallen leaf in the forest or a piece of bread in your compost bin, also requires oxygen. Tiny organisms called decomposers break down dead plants and animals, using oxygen to help them in this process. This decomposition not only recycles nutrients back into the ecosystem, but also returns carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, completing the cycle of life and death. Without oxygen, life as we know it would cease to exist. So the next time you take a breath, remember the silent, invisible hero that fuels the fires of life, powers your body, and keeps the cycle of life spinning. Remember oxygen, the lifeblood of our planet. But where does this life-sustaining oxygen come from, you might ask? It's a valid question, and the answer is rather surprising. It's not the towering trees or the lush green meadows alone, but also the microscopic world of algae and cyanobacteria that contribute significantly to our oxygen supply. Let's delve a little deeper. Plants, algae, and cyanobacteria are the primary producers in the world, the green engines, if you will. These organisms have evolved to carry out a remarkable process known as photosynthesis. This is their way of making food for themselves, and in the process, they produce oxygen as a byproduct. Imagine the leaves of a plant as tiny factories, working tirelessly day in and day out. They take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, absorb water from the soil through their roots, and harness energy from the sun. These ingredients are then combined in a complex chemical process to create sugars. These sugars are the energy source that fuels the plant's growth and development. But that's not all. In the process of making these sugars, oxygen is released back into the atmosphere. Every single leaf, every blade of grass, every patch of algae, and every colony of cyanobacteria are part of this grand process. They are the unsung heroes, the silent producers that keep our planet breathing. And let's not forget the oceans. Algae in the world's waters are arguably the most crucial oxygen producers. They generate a significant portion of the oxygen we breathe, contributing to the balance of life on Earth. So the next time you take a deep breath of fresh air, remember to thank the green producers, the plants, algae, and cyanobacteria. They work tirelessly to convert carbon dioxide and water into life-sustaining oxygen, ensuring that every breath we take is a gift of life. In essence, these green producers are the lungs of our planet. And what happens to this oxygen once it's been produced, you may ask? Well, let's delve into the fascinating journey of oxygen as it gets consumed by animals and other organisms. Picture this. Every time you take a breath, you're participating in the oxygen cycle. With every inhalation, your lungs fill with oxygen. This oxygen then binds to the hemoglobin in your red blood cells, enabling your body to perform a process called cellular respiration. This process is like a tiny power plant operating inside each of your cells, converting the oxygen and the food you eat into energy that fuels your body. But that's not the end of the story. When you exhale, you release carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere, completing your part in this cycle. However, it's not just us humans who are involved in this process. All animals, from the tiniest insect to the largest whale, consume oxygen for respiration. Even microorganisms, invisible to the naked eye, play their part. They too breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, contributing to this never-ending cycle. Now let's talk about the role of decomposition. When plants and animals die, they don't just disappear. Instead, they are broken down by decomposers, which are primarily bacteria and fungi. Decomposers use oxygen to break down the complex organic materials in dead organisms into simpler substances. This process also consumes oxygen and releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, and in doing so, the decomposers play an essential role in maintaining the balance of the oxygen cycle. From the air we breathe to the unseen world of microorganisms, the oxygen cycle is an intricate dance of life and death, growth and decay. It's a constant exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, a balance that sustains life on Earth as we know it. Thus, every breath we take is a testament to this intricate cycle of life. Despite human activities, why does the level of atmospheric oxygen remain relatively stable? Quite the conundrum, isn't it? Well, let's dive into it. Imagine our planet as a grand global theatre. In this performance, every element has a role to play, and oxygen is one of the lead actors. Its part is critical, but it isn't a solo performance. It's dancing in harmony with a myriad of other elements, creating a performance that maintains the stability of our atmosphere. Now you may think, wait, what about those activities that seem to disrupt this dance? Things like burning fossil fuels or deforestation? Yes, these activities do impact the oxygen levels, but here's the twist. The level of atmospheric oxygen remains relatively stable. How so? The answer lies in the world's waters. You see, oxygen has an unassuming yet powerful ally: algae. These tiny, often overlooked organisms play a massive role in oxygen production. They might be small, but in vast quantities they pack a punch. Algae, much like plants on land, perform photosynthesis. They convert carbon dioxide and water into sugars, and oxygen is a byproduct of this process. And guess where most of this oxygen goes? That's right, straight into our atmosphere. Just think about the vastness of the world's waters. Oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, all teeming with algae, tirelessly producing oxygen day in, day out. It's a colossal natural factory, continuously pumping oxygen into our atmosphere. So even though we have activities that consume oxygen and release carbon dioxide, the algae in the world's waters keep producing more oxygen, helping to maintain a balance. It's like a seesaw that never stops moving, but never tips over completely, thanks to the algae keeping things in check. In conclusion, the stability of our atmospheric oxygen is a testament to the incredible balance of nature. Despite human activities that might disrupt this balance, nature has its way of maintaining equilibrium. It's a delicate balance, maintained by nature's own checks and balances. But the oxygen cycle does more than just keep us breathing. Let's take a dive, quite literally, into the world's oceans, lakes, and rivers. Oxygen dissolved in these waters is a lifeline for aquatic life forms. Fish, shellfish, and a host of tiny marine creatures rely on this dissolved oxygen to survive. Without it, our waters would be lifeless. This highlights the importance of oxygen beyond the confines of land and air, extending its reach into the depths of our waters. Now let's resurface and talk about something that affects us all: the Earth's temperature. Oxygen plays a rather unsung role in this regard. When oxygen levels in the atmosphere dip, there's an increase in water vapor. This might not sound like a bad thing until you remember that water vapor is a potent greenhouse gas. More water vapor means more heat gets trapped in our atmosphere, leading to a warmer planet. So, oxygen indirectly helps maintain a balance in our climate, acting as a sort of thermostat for the Earth. Lastly, the oxygen cycle plays a pivotal role in keeping our planet clean. It aids in the removal of waste products, like carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Plants and algae, as part of their photosynthesis, consume carbon dioxide and release oxygen. This not only provides us with breathable air, but also helps prevent the buildup of harmful gases. Without this cycle, we would be facing a much more severe pollution problem. So the oxygen cycle isn't just about breathing, it's about supporting life, regulating our climate, and keeping our planet clean. Through every breath you take, you're part of this incredible cycle. And it's not just about us humans, It's about every living organism on Earth, from the largest whale to the tiniest microbe. The oxygen cycle is truly a testament to the interconnectedness of life on our planet.